what is your message for the international community? Here we have the Security Council, which is hamstrung. You've got the international criminal mechanisms being very, very slow. What's your message to these people in the international community?
It is critically important that the international community recognize that fundamental change is a necessity. It's literally a matter of life and death for the people of Myanmar. The suffering continues unabated. The numbers of those who have been detained, tortured, killed continues to escalate. And the response by the international community has simply failed the people of Myanmar, and fundamental change is absolutely required.
And specifically, Tom, of the various parts of the international community, let's talk first of all about the Security Council, but what about the International Criminal Court, which of course has started to investigate Putin's aggression against Ukraine?
It is remarkable, certainly to the people of Myanmar, that international mechanisms that have served, for example, the people of Ukraine, who have suffered a great injustice, are simply not available to the people of Myanmar for reasons that are beyond explanation to the people of Myanmar. I mean, the UN Security Council held a session specifically on the invasion of Ukraine. This was just in a matter of days. Once the invasion occurred, people of Myanmar continued to wait over 18 months later. A special session of the Emergency General Assembly, people of Myanmar continued to wait. Sanctions, targeted sanctions, the denial of opportunities for international institutions, banking institutions and financial institutions to have access to international banks. All of those measures were put in place with respect to the invasion of Ukraine. None of those have been put in place with respect to Myanmar. What is required is a coordinated, strategic, unified response by the international community to this crisis, focusing on those vulnerabilities of the military junta of Myanmar that is responsible for these atrocities, so that they are no longer able to continue to commit these atrocities. That is what's lacking, and that is what is sorely needed. And really, the people of Myanmar have suffered so greatly. How much more do they need to suffer before the international community responds appropriately?
And Tom, what about those people in Myanmar? They will look on the 10th of December, International Human Rights Day, a big day in which the UN highlights its work in places like Myanmar. But what do you say to people who feel so badly let down by the very organization that's hosting this big day?
I have no words to describe my frustration and disappointment in the way the world has responded to the crisis in Myanmar. I am in awe of the tenacity, the courage, the commitment of the people of Myanmar to save their country, to fight for their future, to fight for their children. It is remarkable what we're seeing in Myanmar, with the very best of humanity in these people fighting for their future, the very worst of humanity, the Tatmadaw, the junta's forces. It is critical that the international community change course and provide the people of Myanmar with the kind of response that they deserve. The Declaration of Human Rights is fundamental. We are celebrating the 74th anniversary of that document. If that document means anything, then we as an international community must do better when it comes to the people of Myanmar, and standing with them and for them to promote and defend their basic rights, starting with the fundamental right to survive, a right that is being denied thousands and thousands of people, the right to live freely, freedom of association, freedom of expression, all of these rights that are now criminal acts by the junta in Myanmar. This is an absolute outrage. It is unacceptable. And if we believe in human rights, if we believe in the universality of human rights as declared by the United Nations 74 years ago, then we must change course and stand up for and with the people of Myanmar.
How important is accountability and the work of groups like the AAPP and my organization, MAP, in promoting accountability for the crimes committed by the junta?
It is incredibly important that the military junta of Myanmar and all of their accomplices understand that they will be held to account. And the information that is being gathered right now is critically important to that accounting. It may take time. It may take an extraordinary amount of time. But the fact is, these acts, if we as a civilized people in the world are going to take our responsibility seriously, then we will hold these people to account, every single one of them. At the very least, we should be doing everything possible to make prosecution of those who are responsible for these atrocities possible.